Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. As you can see from my homie set, because this is, of course, my house, the air conditioner still broke at the studio, but Steven's still there. Steven, you're still there. Is it? But I am. It's cold where you're at. Is that?
That's correct. The air's working.
Is it cold in your? It's cold in your room.
It's cold in my room. Yes, it's quite cold. It's feels like it's like 65 degrees in here. However, it's about 100 outside. It feels like it would not be too much.
Yeah, it's not too much to ask for like just a happy medium where like it's not freezing in your room, but it's just like regular temperature everywhere.
Yeah, I'll close the vents in. I'll close the vents in here, and then it'll go everywhere else. I think we'll be okay.
I don't think that's how that's going to work. So we are shooting the show from home. But it's good because we've got Matt Marston over there at his home as well. Of course, Blaze TV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire. Who, Matt, congratulations, you have a new pope. Or maybe I shouldn't say congratulations.
Well, you know, he's an American pope. It's an American pope. We're even getting an American pope. It's great. We love it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a historical moment, right? It's an amazing time to be alive. He's from Chicago. He's pretty moderate, I'd say. He's not my choice. He's not who I would have chosen for Pope, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
He seems, well, I don't want to be like a stormy little rain cloud for you, Matt, but I will just say he does seem to have a little bit of TDS based off of his past social media posts. He had this one talking about JD Vance, criticizing JD Vance by saying JD Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others in reference to illegal immigration. And then he also posted another one, said, critics ask. Let's see, there it is. Yeah, Pope Francis's letter, JD Vance's, Ordo Amoris, and what the gospel asks on all of us on immigration. So there was another one that I'm not sure if we have it, but it was basically him blasting Trump's anti-immigration rhetoric. So I don't know, Matt. I'm a little bit concerned for you guys. It seems like they could have picked a super conservative and they went, we'll pick one that wants to be political again.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have picked a complete loony liberal. I mean, I'm not surprised that he's different than a conservative on immigration. I'm just not. I mean, it's a bugbear of mine, right? Because I think that a lot of that has to do with wanting to fill the pews in Catholic churches in the United States. And the majority of the people, if you go to Catholic churches here, are Hispanic. So part of it is that, but you know, he's kind of the same.
But that doesn't mean that they're illegal.
Right? I'm not saying they all are. No, but a lot of them are. There's a lot that are. There's a lot that are. Let's face it. There's a lot that are. Like we know this, and that's why they have this approach to it, in my opinion, which I think is wrong. It's just my own person. But you know, I do understand the idea of like, you know, looking after the poor and all that kind of stuff. I just disagree with them on that. And the great thing for Catholics is we don't have to listen to them on those things. We just don't. We can just go, all right, whatever. It doesn't matter. Look, I would have liked Sarah. I would have liked Cardinal Sarah. We didn't get him. But he's also been very, he's been the same as Pope Francis on celibacy in the priesthood and ordaining female priests and gay marriage. I don't know about that. He's kind of like, from what the big alarm bells for me are that Father James Martin was happy that he was elected Pope. And that guy is just, I think, you know, you always say, if you're not going to say a good thing about someone, don't say anything at all. So I won't say anything at all.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're nicer than me. I don't follow that advice at all. I just blast people. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see as this Pope transitions what, not sexually, just transitions into his new role.
Isn't it weird whenever you say transition? Whenever you say transition now, you're like, what they're going to think. But no, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I do think that it's kind of like Obama, right? When Obama was like, I'm going to close Guantanamo Bay. And he gets in and he doesn't close Guantanamo Bay. So it'll be interesting to see if he changes his position. My friend Taylor Marshall was concerned as well about him. So we just got to wait and see. You know, we get the Pope that we deserve. Yeah. So it's nice that it's an American Pope, though. I'm going to take that win.
That is neat. Yeah. That is neat. Very first time American Pope. What is his name? Robert Francis Prevost. So that is neat for America. I will say that. So I want to talk also about Letitia James, who this has just been such a beautiful story to watch play out. We talked about that there were criminal charges being looked into with regard to her fraudulent real estate deals. Allegedly. All right. So the New York Post is now reporting that the FBI has opened a formal criminal probe into Letitia James over alleged mortgage fraud. So you've got, this is just like chef's kiss type stuff. So this is a request. This follows a request that the DOJ investigate Letitia James, sent by Federal Housing Finance Agency Director William Pulte. And he said that she falsified records to get favorable loans on a home she purchased in 2023 in Virginia and a Brooklyn apartment that she has owned since 2001. And then they also provided receipts like mortgage records to prove that, there it is, that this was what she did. Now, the crazy thing is that she really should not have been, because two things cannot be true at the same time. If these were her primary residences, then she should not have qualified to be New York Attorney General because of the rules for New York Attorney General. So which one is it, Tish? Did you sign up to be New York Attorney General under false pretenses? Or did you try to sign, a deal and lied to get more favorable loan? Which one is it? Because either way, you're a scumbag. And it couldn't happen to a more deserving person, because this is, of course, the person who appears to be guilty of the same crime that she accused Donald Trump of committing. But in his case, she could not even no one could name an actual victim. She filed, remember, I know we need a flow chart of all of the Trump indictments, all of the Trump legal trouble because of all of the lawfare that was waged against him. But she filed a civil lawsuit, just as a refresher, in September 2022 against President Trump, the Trump Organization, his 3 eldest children, alleging widespread fraud by inflating the value of real estate assets to secure, look at that, favorable loans and tax benefits. So the thing that she accused President Trump of, she was doing the whole time. Isn't that interesting? Because you remember, Matt, she said that Trump and his company manipulated property valuations, that they valued Mar-a-Lago at $739 million, but it's only worth $75 million, according to Tish James. And she said that Trump Tower's penthouse, they misstated 30,000 square feet instead of 11,000 square feet. And so even though the loan company said, we're fine. We don't really care. He paid back the loans. We're not a victim. You don't need to worry about us. We don't really care. Even though there was no victim of this supposed crime, she, of course, went after him anyway. And the judge ended up asking Trump to pay all of this money. It was like $430 something. There it is, $453 million, including interest, to pay for all of this. And all the whole time, it was Letitia James who was actually committing the mortgage fraud. Now, I just would like to remind Letitia James, in her own words, as she walks through this process, remember, Tish, no one is above the law.
Yeah, we
My
wish,
message
right?
is simple. No matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you think you may have, no one is above the law.
I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law.
Because Elon Musk individuals at the Treasury, and the President of these United States is not above the law.
Nobody's above the law, Matt. No one is above. Tish, you got to taste your own medicine because you're not above the law either. The law's coming for you now, babe.
Well, it really is. It's become a meme in itself, right? That whatever they accuse you of being, they're doing it. And it seems to be the ones that shout the loudest are the ones that are most guilty of these things. So let's hope. I think part of the frustration with Republicans for a very long time has been that nobody's been held accountable for any of this kind of stuff. And it seems to be very one-sided. They're able to make accusations about President Trump, other people, other conservatives, and they kind of get away with it. And then they walk away when there's no evidence. It's kind of like, just dawdle away, even though it's cost Trump millions and millions of dollars in legal fees and the stress and strain on his life. And I think he's incredible, right? He's an incredibly resilient person. And yet they're off doing this stuff themselves. It's unbelievable. And so we need to see these people. She needs to go to jail. She needs to go to jail because you and I would, if we'd done that, like you said, either way, she's screwed. Either way. And it's mind-boggling to me, the narcissism that these people can go out and speak like that when they know they've done it. Because here's the other thing, Sarah. If she doesn't know that she did it, then she shouldn't be in the position that she's in anyway, because she's too stupid. And if she did, then allegedly she's committed fraud. So what is it?
Right.
What is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no way that she doesn't realize that she did something wrong because she claimed that her primary residence was in a completely different state. Like, how do you explain that away?
Well, it makes you think about what is the press doing all the time? What are they doing? What the press is meant to be the checks and balances, right, on the government, and that shouldn't matter which side you're on. And yet they say, "Oh, well, we're the press, and we're gonna go after these people." And until it's a Democrat, and they go la 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 la, that they don't want to know. They don't want to know. They don't do the due diligence. They're not looking into this, and it's utterly staggering to me. It's literally like, for me, do you know when you see these cases of serial killers and they go around, they just keep on like deliberately dropping hints that they're the serial killer? That's what it's like to me. They want to get caught in the end, right? They want to get caught. Well, she's going to get caught. That's it. She's done.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's not like, she's just one person in a long list of Democrats who should go to prison. Again, not because I'm interested in, well, I don't want to say I'm not interested in retribution. I very much am interested in retribution. But the problem with this is that these people actually are real criminals who have committed very real crimes. So they should, of course, go to jail. I know there are Republicans who are like, we shouldn't stoop to their level. And I'm like, what level? They're accusing perfectly innocent people of committing crimes, and they're actually like stacking the deck against them. And in Donald Trump's case, 34 felony counts the guy has against him. This is not doing what they're doing. We are just prosecuting the actual criminals. That's not stooping to anyone's level. That is setting the precedent that we will never tolerate that kind of lawfare ever again. We will not tolerate the criminals going out and trying to prosecute innocents without some sort of revenge for that. I don't know how else to say it.
Well, look, I think in the same way that you're looking at these people going after Trump, you're like, why are they going after him? This is very odd. That you should always look at their motives, right? Like, why are they doing it? I would say the same for the rhinos that are saying we don't want to stoop to their level. What are you hiding?
Yeah.
We need to look into them just the same. Because you know what it's like? It's like that they don't want to be the ones to be called out when they say, well, which is what's happening right now. Hang on a second. You said nobody's above the law, so we're coming after you. So I think it's the same. Like, as you said, we're equal opportunists when it comes to equal opportunity prosecutors when it comes to people breaking the law. It's not about being vindictive because they're on the opposite side. Have they committed a crime? Have they committed fraud against the American people? And if so, you need to go to jail. Like that's it. I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't bother me. It's like I said, the justice is blind, right? It should apply to everybody equally. And part of the stuff that we're saying is it's clearly not being applied to Trump equally. The presumption of innocence is not being applied to Trump equally, both in the judicial system and in the press. It's shocking.
Yeah, it really is. All right, we've got more to come, so stay tuned. I am Sara Gonzales. You can find me at AmericanBeautyBySarah.com, along with making sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're here right now watching on YouTube, hi, welcome. Make sure that you hit the like button and comment. It'll help us out in the algorithm. Oh, by the way, people are always asking me, they're like, I want to buy your lipstick, but I want to know what color, like, are you wearing your own line? Yeah, I am. I'm wearing Miss America right now. So if you like this nude, go get it at, wait, I walked into that.
That is
if
so,
you like this nude.
No. See, you just, Stephen, sort your wife out. This is, can I just tell the people, I see this look on Stephen's face so many times. I'm telling you, he's like, oh, no.
It's a color. They know what they're talking about.
It's a color. Oh, thanks, Stephen. I appreciate. He's like, I can't be bothered to deal with Sarah's nonsense today. He just can't. And that's okay. Who can blame him? But yes, Miss America, find it at AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. Also, want to thank our sponsor, Relief Factor. Oh, and follow Matt Marsden, Blaze TV contributor. Matthew D. Marsden is his YouTube channel. I'm sorry, Matt. It was the nude thing that like distracted me, and I forgot to say that. So you start talking about nudes and.
Can I do the Usher thing where I look up and look to the side and look across and look down and expect that my tag is going to be there? I just did that and I realized that there's no tag there. No, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, you pulled an Usher. I'm sorry, Ursher. You pulled an Ursher.
Ursher.
So make sure to follow his YouTube channel, Matthew D. Marsden. And want to thank our sponsor, Relief Factor. So those of you who live in constant pain, you think that that's your life now. It doesn't have to be, all right? Try Relief Factor. It's worked for so many people at Blaze. It's worked for Matt. It's worked for me. It's worked for Glenn Beck. It's worked for actually 70% of the people who buy their 3-week quick start go on to keep ordering more. That's how many people it's working for. So if you're living with any type of pain, neck pain, knee pain, back pain, arthritis, whatever, it's typically the inflammation that's causing your pain. And this is a super potent, all natural anti-inflammatory. You've got nothing to lose except your pain because they've got a guarantee. So head over to relieffactor.com and pick up that 3-week quick start over at relieffactor.com. All right. President Trump is, he has just announced a major trade deal that I would say is only going to benefit America, much to the dismay of all of the leftist pundits who are very, very mad that President Trump's strategy, negotiations on trade might actually work because they're very much rooting for him to fail rather than course correcting all of the wrongs that have been done for decades. But let's play President Trump's announcement in the Oval Office today. Watch.
The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports, especially in agriculture, dramatically increasing access for American beef, ethanol, and virtually all of the products produced by our great farmers. And our Secretary, as you know, of Agriculture is here. Brooke, thank you very much for being here.
Day. Thank you, sir.
You'll let the farmers know. In addition, the UK will reduce or eliminate numerous non-tariff barriers that unfairly discriminated against American products. But this is now turning out, I think, really to be a great deal for both countries because it'll be really great for the UK also. So they're opening up the country. Their country is a little closed, and we appreciate that. They'll also be fast-tracking American goods through their customs process, so our exports go to a very, very quick form of approval, and there won't be any red tape. Things are going to move very quickly both ways.
He also said on Truth Social, today is an incredible day for America as we deliver our first fair, open, and reciprocal trade deal, something our past presidents never cared about. Together with our strong ally, the United Kingdom, we have reached the first historic trade deal since Liberation Day. As part of this deal, America will raise $6 billion in external revenue from 10% tariffs, $5 billion in new export opportunities for our great ranchers, farmers, and producers, and enhance the national security of both the U.S. and the U.K. through the creation of an aluminum and steel trading zone and a secure pharmaceutical supply chain. This deal shows that if you respect America and bring serious proposals to the table, America is open for business. Many more to come. Stay tuned. Now, this is, of course, the great negotiator. This is President Trump. This is the art of the deal. And we have this announcement that just happened. And then we also have, moving into the weekend, we have the meeting that the United States is going to have with China in Geneva, where they are expected to talk about trade. And President Trump has already come out and said, I think that we probably will make enough progress that the 145% tariffs that we have on Beijing right now will probably come down. But we'll see. It depends on how they want to play it. Finally, we have a president. And again, Matt, I can't wait to hear your thoughts because you, of course, come from a perspective of being from the UK and knowing how all of that works. But I mean, for me, I try to say this all the time. Like, I never really knew much. I never thought much about trade. It's just kind of something that here in America, you kind of take for granted. It's like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's made in China now, but that just is what it is. And you just don't, as an average American, you don't think about how much our government bureaucrats are screwing us by allowing us to get taken advantage of the way that we're taken advantage of and kick the can down the road. Another president might solve it. I don't know. It's just, it's not for me to solve. How would you go about solving it? I can't do that. And now you finally have a president who is like, no, we're just going to do it. Like, we're just literally just going to turn off the siphon, right? We're going to say, oh, you guys want to tariff us? We'll just tariff you back. You started it, but we'll finish it. And now we have all of this progress already happening, again, much to the dismay of the left, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, both of us said from the very beginning that the tariffs, when everyone was losing their mind, we were saying this is negotiation. This is all it is leverage. The president is getting leverage over these other countries because the United States has been ripped off for years and years and years. It's absolutely true. And what he did in that interview actually says, I had to blow it all up. He said that because he knew that he had to take the status quo and just go, no, it's gone. And he also remarked that he could have tried to do a one-on-one deal with the United Kingdom, but it wouldn't have worked. And all these things are true. So again, the press, all the pearl clutchers, Sarah, and we aren't two of those, right? We're all like, hang on a second, calm down. He has a plan. They're all losing their minds again because what they'll try and do, because they got it wrong about Trump in one way. Now he's succeeding. They've got to find something else to have a go at him at, right? They're trying to find something. But this is a terrific deal for both the United States and the UK. And I'll tell you this right, I've been very critical of the Labour government. Cannot stand Keir Starmer. This is a win for them. You've got to call it what it is. It's a win for both countries. And this is what Trump is the master at doing. It was like this before, Sarah, and he's got it to parity, if not better, for the United States. So it's terrific. I can tell you, growing up in the UK, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't have in the UK because it just costs too much to bring it over from America. That's going to change. It's going to mean huge, huge profits for American companies. It's terrific.
Huge. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be so huge.
Going to be so huge. Probably the hugest deal ever. I did a deal for Rolls-Royce. I had a lot of Rolls-Royce. Some people say Rolls-Royce are the best. I had a few of them. He actually did a deal for Rolls-Royce, which again, it's smart because
so funny.
He said that they're not like Fiat. He didn't say they're not like Fiat, but I'm just saying they're not mass producers of cars. They produce a luxury item that is very, very isolated, and he's given them a special tariff. All this makes sense. It's just great business, and it's amazing to watch.
And I think that it's so indicative of, as much as the left wanted to say when he ran the first time around, they're like, oh, he's never served in government before. How could he ever know what the hell he's doing? We can't trust a businessman. And it's like, no, actually, we should have more businessmen come in and serve in this role, because it turns out they're the ones who know how to get things done. They're the ones who are executing deals in successful businesses. They're the ones who already have the experience in this. They're not just going off to DC with their briefcase like, I'm going to do stuff, and then not do anything at all. That's all the government has been until Donald Trump came into power. So it's just like, I don't know, maybe there is something to having a businessman with none of your shitty government experience come in and save the day. But, they hate that. Let's play, you alluded to it earlier, Matt. Let's play Jen Psaki over at MSNBC, who recently was like taunting President Trump she's like, oh, he's not making any trade deals. Watch.
So it's been more than a month, if you can believe it, since Donald Trump announced his sweeping and pretty ridiculous tariffs. But Mr. Art of the Deal, as he calls himself, has not yet struck a single trade deal, not a single one, with any single country.
Jen, how you handling this one? I don't know. Let's see how Morning Joe handled the news on their program this morning. Watch.
You look for what's most likely. Most likely those trade deals are going to come from leaders that he's more comfortable with. And he certainly, again, says he's very comfortable with Keir Starmer.
Yeah, no question there. For President Trump, diplomacy is very personal. I mean, there's the degree of that for most presidents, but this one in particular, it's really whether or not he likes you. We know there have been foreign leaders he very much did not like. He did not care for Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada. But this is going to be a political win for the White House, Mika. President Trump up very early this morning, posting around 5:30 in the morning. We've heard from him a couple times already today about this. They're going to have an event at 10 o'clock. He's going to hold a news conference along with it. This is going to be something that they recognize. White House aides have told me for a while. It's been turbulent since so-called Liberation Day. They've seen the markets bounce back some, but there's a lot of economic worries. They needed to start delivering deals. This is the first.
I feel like Mika's just holding back. You saw her fiddling with her pen. She's like, oh God, oh no, he's succeeding. He's saving America, and we don't like that because Orange Man bad, Matt. Orange Man, look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
It's hard, right? It's killing him. It's killing him. It's really, really killing him. You know what? We joke, and we've joked for years about TDS. This is a real thing. People just lose their minds about Donald Trump. It's so bizarre. Like this, as I said before, this is a great deal. It's a great deal for Americans. It's a great deal for Brits. And you're going to try and find something negative, like you're bitter about the president succeeding. Listen, I couldn't stand Joe Biden. We both thought he was a complete muppet, right? Like he was, like Jim Henson was behind him, like operating him. But we wanted him to succeed, right? In the good things. We didn't want a botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. We wanted him to do it well. We want the economy to do well. Even if we don't like him, if it's a good policy, we want it to succeed. Like I said, I cannot stand Keir Starmer. I cannot stand his government. But this is a good deal. They did a good job for the American people. And credit where credit's due. But I think there's going to be a problem. Do you know what that problem is?
What's that?
They're talking about doing an aluminum deal, not an aluminium deal.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Oh my gosh. No, because you guys don't know how to speak. It's aluminum. That's very, very
aluminium.
How you're supposed to sound it out. No.
What?
He says it's aluminium.
That's like another element. That's not the same thing.
No, it's the same thing.
Aluminium?
Yeah,
I don't believe
you say aluminium. It's the truth. You grok it right now, Stephen.
How do you grok the pronunciation of something?
No, it's spelled different, but it's the same thing.
It's spelled, and this is like a British thing.
Spelled different?
Yeah, it's spelled aluminium. Don't make me give you a history lesson.
The spelling of elements.
There's a whole thing, because if you think about elements, it's like, I don't know, like polonium or whatever. They end in ium. It's true.
So
it's true, and it was changed, and then it changed, but it's true. It's like they don't spell banana the same either. That's totally not true.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Like, yes, they do. I know they do. Oh,
it's like they spell tomato Tomahto.
Shut up. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Up,
no, but
Matt.
they do spell aluminium differently. It is aluminium and it is aluminum.
Well, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
I promise.
Let's play one more clip here. We're talking about TDS. I would like to play President Trump talking about Democrats having such TDS that they don't want America to win. Watch.
And the Democrats are fighting it only because they want to fight. They have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, if it was somebody else, they wouldn't fight. If you had a normal person, if you had some stiff sitting behind you, they'd be fine. But they have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, Senator Schumer's become a Palestinian. He's welcome. I don't know when they're going to give him the ceremony, whatever the ceremony may be. But it's terrible what's happened to the Democrats.
I just love, he's so freaking funny. And I love that, you know, it's just such a great contrast from the last administration, where anytime the last president spoke, all of the people who were standing around him were like, oh crap, oh crap. Oh God, someone make him stop. So please stop, make him stop. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's just such a welcome change from that, where everyone who's around President Trump, when he makes these statements from the Oval Office, they're just laughing. They just love it. It's just such a beautiful breath of fresh air.
He's totally comfortable in his own skin. And you know, it's interesting that if you look at that picture of all the guys standing there, you'll see that the body language. Now, I've been recently on the show, I've been crossing my arms because I've got this neck issue, which means that it's more comfortable for me to cross my arms. But look at JD Vance. Look at that. Sure. Now, not only is he a Marine, though, he's a Marine, but he's totally open. Look at the guy. Look at the ambassador from Great Britain, though. Look at those two. So even though they've done the deal, they're like, oh, not quite sure about that. But all the other guys are like, yeah, I'm. You know, the chest is open, the chests are open. So, and from an acting point of view, if you want to show that you're comfortable and that you are projecting power and confidence, you do what JD Vance is doing there, and it's amazing to see that synergy between Trump's team. They're totally relaxed. They're not on edge. They know they've got the power in that situation. It is amazing to see. And this is what people want from America. They want leadership. That's what they want. They want America to be the big dog on the block, to come out and go, don't worry, we're going to sort everything out. There you go. And it's President Vance is going to be quite amazing, isn't he?
Oh, I can't wait for that. That's going to be, that's going to be, he's already great. He's got 3.5 more years to, you know, polish all of this and then just swoop right in.
And he's got a great mentor. You can tell they really like each other in comparison to Mike Pence, who's like a gray man. And, I can't imagine being a vice president and backstabbing your boss as much as he's done since he's gone. I mean, it is staggering to me. And he's gone right down in my estimation. I know people that really loved him as a governor, but he just continues. He's another TDS guy. He can't bear it. And he just continues to tarnish his own legacy, to be honest. Just shut up and go off into the night, just be quiet. But he can't bear it. And that's really unfortunate.
He can't. Yeah, no, it really is. But you know what? He shows us who he really is, and for that we're grateful. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back with more. Joe Biden, the gift that keeps on giving. I don't really know why he had the opportunity to just quietly exit stage left and decide to live out his remaining days, which seemingly are numbered because the guy is already basically a vegetable, just quietly private life. And he has chosen to start doing these interviews again, putting himself back on the scene. And today he was on with the beautiful, feminine, brilliant ladies over at The View. And he and Jill, of course, because he needed a handler and I guess no one else was available. And I want to play the moment that they asked him about these books being written about him that say that, well, these crazy books are saying that you started to decline mentally. And is that really true? Watch.
Mr. President, since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out deeply sourced from Democratic sources that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities in the final year of your presidency. What is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that, number one. Number two, you know,
he can't even look at her.
What we were left with. We were left with a circumstance where
embarrassed toddler.
We had an insurrection when I started. Not since the Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that we, the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, end up over 1 million people
what does
dying.
This have to do with
1 million people dying.
Mental state,
We're also in a situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in interest of time. And so we went to work, and we got it done. And you know, one of the things that and
Alyssa, you know, one of the things I think is that
Jill swoops in.
People who wrote those
saves
books
the day.
were not in the White House with us, and they didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day. I mean, he'd get up, he'd put in a full day, and then at night I'd be in bed,
Look at him.
you know, reading my book, and he was still on the phone reading his briefings, working with staff. I mean, it was nonstop. It's the White House, being president is not like a job. It's a lifestyle. It's a life that you live. You live it 24 hours.
You would know, Jill,
a
wouldn't
day.
you? You were the
That phone
president.
can ring at 11 o'clock at night or 2 in the morning. It's constant. You never leave it. And Joe worked really hard.
That's enough. How embarrassing. He just stuttered on about things that were completely unrelated to the question. He couldn't even look any of the hosts in the eye. He blinked nervously looking at the table until, I don't know if she kicked him under the table or what, but it felt very much like they had some sort of a signal, because Jill Biden swooped in right as Joe Biden stopped talking to save the day. And Joe was like, I've said enough. And Jill's like, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up where you left off there, babe, because let's face it, I was the one running the show this entire time, and I'm going to need to fix this answer. So no one knew how hard he actually worked. Really, that's weird, because we got word from the White House aides that his hours were like 12 to 4 a couple of days a week, and he was out there sunbathing on the beach in Delaware, which we saw with our very own eyes. But listen, Jill is here to tell you how hard Joe Biden worked. It's just that no one is going to buy this, Matt.
No, and look, I'll tell you why he was looking down. What he's doing is he's trying to concentrate fully on what he's thinking, because he can't keep eye contact, move, and look at the different people, because that takes up a little bit more of your brain to be able to do that, and he can't do it. So what he's doing is he's really focused, and he's really thinking about what he's having to say. But even then, he rambles. He says the same thing that we've heard him say over and over again. And look, we all know this. If you know, you and Stephen, when you've gone out, me and Nadine go out, and you can tell when a discussion goes down a certain road that someone said something over and over again. If someone asks you about like Cornyn, you have a certain you have a certain angle on it, right? And you'll talk about it, and then Stephen or anyone else, your friends, will pop in whenever there's a gap or whenever they feel like they can add to the conversation. And I think that what you're looking at with Biden is she knows that is the key for when he has exhausted his mental energy, right? He says the same clip things, we were doing things and then, we got to work and we couldn't do it, but we got to work. And I don't want to carry it. What he's saying is, I'm out. I'm tapping out. Come on in, coming in. She's a nightmare. I do not understand why they're doing this. Like, why would they just go away, have some self-respect? And if Stephen was like that, if I was like that for Nadine, I'd hope my wife would say, you know what, Matt, you can't go out like that anymore. You're struggling, or certainly you wouldn't be pushed out there like that to do those things. There's no positive that can come from this, only that she gets a platform again. That's all I can see. Yeah. He's been bad for, I couldn't even believe that he got elected the first time round. And this is like 4 years later. It's crazy.
Yeah. You have to wonder, it's with Joe Biden and I don't know, a couple other people in politics that you sit there and watch this happening and you go, wow, you really have no one in your life that loves you enough for you to just tell you it's time to go home. And I think that really is, Joe Biden was the guy who hooked all of his family members up with millions of dollars. Joe Biden was the gravy train. And it seems to me like everyone in his life, including his own wife of all people, is just like, yeah, we're going to do this because I enjoyed the spotlight and I'm not done. It really feels like he was the gravy train and she wants to milk that for however much more she can until he's finally gone, at which point she probably will try to find some other sinister way to milk that gravy train, because I guess that's all that he was to his family. How sad, that's just so devastatingly sad.
Yeah, but it's also a reflection on who he is as well, because I want to spend all my time with my grandkids when I get them. I don't want to be work. Right. I think that we'll always work. Like some of us will just always work, but I want the majority of my time to be with my grandkids and my kids. And even now, when I go off from work, I'm missing my kids. I want to get back to them. Then I want to get back. No, but in all honesty, in all fairness, no, it's not that at all. No. I don't understand someone. He's become the president of the United States. Go and chill a bit, will you? Go and chill. Spend some time with your grandchildren. Pick them. Why would you not want to do that? It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, well, one of his grandchildren he won't even acknowledge. So there's that. But it's also like, it's not even just you've been the president. You were the president, go home, you're old. It's like you literally spent, 50 years in public office? 50, that's a long freaking time. The majority of your life you had spent in public office with the idea, this was always the plan, right? He had the goal of becoming president and he achieved that goal. Now, whether or not you believe that was actually the case is a different story. But the history books will reflect that Joe Biden, of course, was the 46th president of the United States. And so it's like, you did all of this for decades of your life, all to lead up to that moment. You had your moment. Just go home and enjoy your family. And it's just really sad to see how this power affects people, because they just seem to just crave it and want more and more and more and more. Like Dianne Feinstein, she just died in Congress, Yeah. Nancy Pelosi probably will just go up until she dies. These people don't want to relinquish their power. And it's just not a good setup that we have, where we've just got all of these old people just going to Congress to die. It's like, I feel like our country deserves better than that. I want to play one more clip for you here, Matt. Let's watch Joe Biden. Again, totally mentally fit. No cognitive decline going on here. It's just, you just couldn't really understand where he was going when talking about tariffs. Watch.
the projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
What was the end there?
Can you translate that for me, please? As you healthcare. But Sarah, listen, to your point, I just want to make this clear to your viewers. You've said to me multiple times, if there was someone else really that could take on the mantle to go out there and fight like you do, you'd say, okay, you can go do it.
Sure.
But you have taken that mantle on yourself and you go out and do it. But you'd rather be back home with the kids and with Stephen and do these other things. That's the difference, right? Like, we do it because we feel called to do it because nobody else is doing it. And you're like, well, if nobody else is doing it, then it's incumbent on me to do it. And these people, you'd have to drag them. Well, they are dragging them, kicking and screaming out, if not like having them there until they die. It's weird. It's totally bizarre.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I just can't relate to it at all. But then again, I'm a well-adjusted person who is sane, which is not really representative of.
And you have a family that love you and you love your family.
Exactly. All right. Speaking of that, I've got one more here for you when we return. We're taking a bunch of statues down because, I don't know, racism or something. But we are, Matt, I'll have you know, we are actually putting up new statues, like in Times Square over in New York. A 12-foot statue of an obese Black woman has just been unveiled right in the center of the square. I'm not really sure why. I mean, they're just like, look, this is representative of Black women because she's obese. I don't know, but there you have the new version of art in woke New York City. It's actually embarrassing.
Wokeness ruins everything. It makes beautiful things ugly. It makes humor unfunny. There's people are rejecting this though. They can carry on. This is the death throes of wokeism, because everybody looks at that and go, do you remember that? We look at the statue of David and we're saying that's what we want. That's the ideal. Now the ideal is like an obese Black woman. Like, come on now. I mean, at least put like FloJo up there or someone who's like, in great shape. But this is where we are now. But it's, Sarah, it's dying. It's dying. Wokeism is dying. This is a joke. It's just a joke.
You're right. You're right. Well, New York, enjoy your obese Black woman, I guess. We'll be over here enjoying actual art. Matt Marsden, thank you so much. Make sure to follow him on YouTube, and we will see you guys tomorrow.